So I'm hanging out here at the soccer field, and I've just been thinking about the pressures that are on mostly young people today, and how difficult it is to hold on to the idea of true love and idealism and the higher principles of life, because there are so many pressures upon us. My friend Jesse was pre-med at Stanford, and I don't know precisely what happened, but if she's like my college roommate at Harvard, who was pre-med and decided to switch out of it, it had to do with the way the modern path that you must travel seems to strip you of your humanity along that path. And as we travel that path, it becomes more and more difficult to be a human being. And as I walked around here earlier, I came upon a friend, and she was reading a book.
Yes. This is the book.
When Breath Becomes Air by, how do you say it?
I think it's Paul Kalanick. Kalanick?
Paul
Yeah.
Kalanick.
Yes.
What's it about?
It is a book about a neurosurgeon resident who finds out he's dying of he's diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. So it's kind of his journey from
I'm going to put the book in the foreground there.
the person who is giving this terrible news and to someone who's actually becoming the patient themselves, receiving the terrible news and going through the experience of a terminal disease. So yeah, that's what it's about.
Well, what does the title mean, When Breath Becomes Air?
When breath becomes air, the way I take it is that right now what's all around us is air, but we, humans or animals or whoever, when we breathe, when we inhale, it turns into breath. So when breath becomes air, I take it to mean that when he actually dies, that what used to be his breath is now just air, because he's no longer breathing it.
And was he a doctor?
He was a doctor, yes. Yes, he was in his last year of residency at Stanford.
And what does he talk about in the process of dealing with patients?
He talks about how he had a very hard time actually deciding to be a doctor. He went to school also to learn about philosophy and had not a fascination, but a interest in death and what death means. So it's kind of his journey as to how he kind of changes as to seeing a patient not just as something that's stopping you from getting home or just like a case that you're interested in, but rather seeing the patients as a person and learning how to be compassionate and giving difficult news in a way that is realistic yet not cold, I guess.
So as a doctor, if he has to give a diagnosis to the patient,
Yeah.
do you think the doctor understands the full impact of what they're telling the patient?
I think the special ones do, and I think for the most part, what was very eye-opening to me was the fact that, doctors are human, and when they have a bad day, it's, they really could affect somebody's life or spirit, or even, there was an example in the book, he's doing a surgery, and the head doctor said, do you know what happens if you cut 2 millimeters deeper? And he said, double vision, they're doing a brain surgery. And the guy said, no, it's actually called locked-in syndrome, where you're unable to move and you're just basically locked in your own body. So you realize that you never know who's doing work on you, and you're hoping and praying that they're having a good day, but some days they're not going to be having a good day. So it's very interesting.
So do you know what the title of this podcast YouTube channel is?
I don't.
You never know.
You never know. Perfect.
And I just happened upon you. You just never know.
You never know.
Thank you so much.
Sure, absolutely.